record, and we're go. All right, happy Sunday again. Thanks for joining me. I'm Johanna. We'll get started in child's pose. So start your music if you'd like to now. There it is. Come on down to your mat, face down. Big toes touch, send your knees wide. Forehead down to the earth. Reach your arms long in front of you. And then close your eyes. Without judging, just noticing how the breath is moving in and out. Happy birthday, Sarah. There you are. I've got 3 Sarahs, my cousin Sarah. Happy birthday. Forehead down to the mat. Reach your fingertips long in front of you and allow your armpits and your belly to be heavy towards the earth. So just let go. With your eyes closed, begin to breathe in and out through the nose, establishing an even rhythm. Maybe hold on to the breath at the top. And then take your time letting the breath come out. Remember, just noticing what's going on. Is it hurried? Is it shallow? Without judgment, just awareness how it is today. Just kind of like our yoga poses. Now let's start to regulate the breath. Inhale through the nose to the count of 4. Exhale through the nose to the count of 4. One more time. Inhale through the nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale to the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe this time inhale to the count of 6, or keep with the 5 or 4, and allow this to establish your rhythm, your cadence for this practice today. Allowing the breath to be the vehicle for our poses. And if ever the breath becomes stopped or hurried or harsh, feel free to come back to child's pose and reestablish your even, smooth cadence. Let's find an active, extended child's pose. Crawl your fingers forward so that your elbows lift up off the earth. And then roll your shoulders together and down your back to activate the shoulder girdle. You may feel like you're gripping the floor now, and that's good. We want to find strong connection with the hands. And then pull your navel towards your spine, activating through the low core. One more round of breath. Inhale through the nose, Ujjayi Pranayama, and exhale through the nose. Anchor your elbows into the earth, your forearms too. Inhale, rise to forearm tabletop. A little different of a variation here. Shoulders over the elbows. Walk your knees back, maybe an inch or so they're under the hips. Curl your toes under. Exhale, forearm tabletop cat pose. Chin to chest, lengthen your tailbone towards your knees. Hold here. Hug your inner thighs together. Notice how your outer hips ignited when you did that. Chin to chest and round the upper spine. Inhale, cow variation in forearm tabletop. Press down through the forearms. Nice, Christina. Roll your shoulders back. See if you can lift your tailbone and your chin 1 inch higher. And then a little add-on. Press your heart through your shoulders. Breath to movement. Exhale, forearm cow, cat pose, pardon me. Inhale, forearm cow. Again, exhale, pull it in for cat. Inhale, cow pose. Come back to a neutral spine, but keep your forearms down. Now, I don't know if we have a lot of swimmers in here. I think I got a couple. Think breaststroke. So remember, when we pull in for breaststroke, the forearms come inward and the lower arm bones internally rotate. So we want that scooping motion. So the external part of your forearms, hug them down into your mat like you're going to scoop the mat up like it's water. That's that strength I want you to feel. Then roll your shoulders down to engage the shoulder girdle. Notice how that might be made this a little more difficult, but feel the engagement of your triceps, your biceps, and the muscles in your forearms. Press down through your index knuckles. Squeeze your forearms towards your knees towards your forearms. Toes are curled under. Inhale, hover your knees off the earth, hovering forearm tabletop. Breathe. Hug your inner thighs together, navel to spine. Press down through the index knuckles and try to palm the ground like a basketball for 4. Even breath for 3. Taking it down to forearm tabletop in 2. And 1, gently place your knees down. One hand at a time, come into your tabletop. One round of cat-cow. Exhale, cat, chin to chest, spread through the low spine. Inhale, cow pose, pause. Arch into the mid-spine, roll your shoulders towards your hips, look high. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep that little arch of the low back as you move into your downward facing dog. Pedal it out, one leg and then the other, or sway your hips side to side. Remember, in your downward facing dogs, you're always welcome to walk your feet closer to your hands, but I recommend more so bending the knees a lot. Press down through the index knuckles, lift through the palm and grab the floor. Roll your shoulders away from your ears and hug them down your back, or up your back. We're upside down, right? Steady into your downward facing dog. Inhale, find length from your fingertips through the tailbone. Exhale, melt your heart closer to your shins if you have the space. Before we begin to move, take your foot to the floor at a 45-degree angle, kind of like a warrior 1 foot, and then drive your left hip down, your right hip up and back. Feel a stretch through the right outer hip, your abductors, TFL, IT band, all through the outer part of the hip. Come back to your downward facing dog, other side. Left foot to 45 degrees. Dig down to the knife edge of the left foot and drive your left hip towards the back of the room. Yeah, it's your left hip. Had to check. Good. Downward facing dog. One round of breath. Inhalation through the nose. Exhalation through the nose. Bend your knees. Inhale, look between your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold. A bunch of little steps to get there, feet to hands. Feet hips width distance apart or wider. Bend your knees generously so there's no pulling just yet into the hamstrings. Allow your head to hang heavy down to the earth. Nod your head, yes, shake it, no for ragdoll. Maybe a little sway side to side if that feels good in your low back. And then to ramp up the forward fold, you can begin to straighten through the back line of the legs, but you have a lot of time to do that, so you don't have to pop right into a straight leg or at all. It's all good. Release your fingers towards your ankles, and then sweep your hands at your low back, make a fist. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders into your ears and then onto the upper ribs, and this might be enough of a chest expansion here. If you want a little more, you can keep your elbows bent. Lift your fist maybe a centimeter away from your low back, maybe more. Feel the stretch through the shoulder heads, the delts, and your pectorals as well. If you want a little more, begin to draw your fist to the sky, but leave that bend in the elbow so we don't hyperextend. Draw your fist back to your low back. And like softly falling rain, your fingertips come down to the floor or close to the floor. Heel toe your feet together, big toes connect, little space to the heels, or feet hips width distance apart. You can measure that with 2 fists if that's better for your legs and your low back. Chin to your chest, bend your knees. Inhale, slowly rise to stand, taking care to stack vertebra upon vertebra. Your shoulders will be the last thing that lift. Shrug your shoulders into your ears like you're super tense, and then roll them down your back like you just got some good news. Relax, yeah? Roll your shoulders into your ears, together and down your back, lifting through the heart. One more time, shoulders up, and then together, down and back. Hands to heart center for a moment. Close your eyes. Select an intention for your time on your mat. It gives us something or some place for our energy to flow towards. It could be anything you'd like. Maybe it's an intention of love or care for somebody you know. It could be yourself. I do offer up the intention today of just to be present with what's going on in the body right here, right now. What's not what happened earlier, not what's happening after or tomorrow, just right here in this next 60 moments of class. Inhale through your nose, and exhale through your nose. Inhale, mountain pose, reach your arms up overhead. Finding a different variation today, more of an Ashtanga variation. Press your palms together, okay? Now, actively push your palms into one another. Notice how the arm muscles just ignited. Then roll your shoulders down your back. Ooh, a little more of a challenge, right? But think, lengthen your tailbone down towards your heels. Rather than a tuck or an overarch, it's a lengthen through the low back. Press your palms together. Inhale, look to your thumbs. Exhale, reverse namaste, reverse prayer. Take the thumbs to the back of your neck. Hug your elbows towards one another and stay here and breathe. So we're looking for a stretch through the triceps here. We're looking for strength in the shoulder girdle back here, and also strength through the palms, okay? If you'd like to take this into a heart lift, hug your inner thighs together, press your hips forward, and then begin to lift your sternum towards the sky. Inhale, back to mountain pose, prayer hand. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, flat spine, ride the breath all the way down. Nice, Sarah. Sarah is all y'all. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to your shins or to your quads, and breathe. Allow this to be about hamstrings, belly, and a flat spine, okay? So first, let's think hamstrings. Hug your inner thighs towards one another, weight into the heels of the feet, and then bend your knees even more until you feel the back line of your legs fire up. If your hands are to your quads, hug your elbows into your rib cage like chaturanga. If your hands are to your shins, I want that same engagement. Roll your shoulders down your back. Breathe in, press your heart forward. Nice, Sarahs. Oh, I got all my Sarahs on one screen. Exhale, high plank, and breathe. Plant your hands under your shoulders, step it back. Find your strong, even breath here and stay present in this moment. Sometimes we love to fly through this posture. Allow it to be a moment of opportunity, a moment of growth. You are always welcome to come down to your knees, okay? Hug your inner thighs towards one another. We're going to need them for later, so I'd like you to focus there today. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels, and then pop the back of your heart to the sky. So kind of like that cat spine. Pop. Yes, you got it. Inhale, hinge forward, shoulders past your fingers. You're on your tippy toes. Exhale, bend your elbows 90 degrees or less. Option to come down to the knees. Hold for 4. Shoulders out of your ears for 3. Denise, you got this. 2. All the way down. And 1. Ooh. Reach your arms long in front of you and make a prayer. Palms touch. Yep. Hug your heels towards one another. And then find reverse prayer, thumbs to the back of your head. Keep your toenails planted down. Inhale, reverse prayer, cobra. Lift the back of your heart to the sky. It could be a little, it could be a lot. What I'd really like you to feel is the side of the spine cord, all those muscles are nice and strong. They're making you warm. They're keeping you safe. Hold for 4. Hug your elbows towards one another for 3. You can do this, 2. And 1, all the way down. Hands under your shoulders. Press into your knees. Inhale, all 4. Exhale, downward facing dog, pedal it out. Steady into your downward facing dog. Inhale, look between your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, a bunch of little steps or 1 step. Inhale, halfway lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, press down, reach tall. Press your palms together. Exhale, reverse prayer. Optional heart lift, but keep the low ribs down and in to secure the mid-spine. Inhale, back to mountain, palms press. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana, ride it on down. Inhale, halfway lift, press your heart through your shoulders. Exhale, high plank and breathe. Another opportunity here, right? Think about all the challenges as being opportunities to learn, to grow, to become stronger. Stay present in the minutes, and then the hours and years take care of themselves. Hollow out through your armpits, navel to spine. Inhale, hinge forward. Exhale, bend your elbows 90 degrees or less. You can be up here, elbows to the rib cage, holding for 4. For 3, all the way down to the belly in 2. And 1, lightly plant. Take your feet out to the corners of the back of your mat, so wide legs. Reach long in front of you, palms touch. Then bend your knees, toes touch behind you, diamond legs, and then reverse prayer. Inhale, lift everything up and off the ground. Feel your outer hips light up here. Keep breathing for 4, for 3, 2, and 1, all the way down. Ooh. Hands under your shoulders. Inhale, high plank or all 4s. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll flow breath to movement 1 time through our Surya Namaskar Sun A. You have the option for high to low plank with a cobra. You feel free to take your up dog or completely skip it. You can hold your high plank and move right into downward facing dog, okay? Let's do it. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Step. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose, prayer hand. Exhale, reverse prayer. Hug your elbows together. Inhale, mountain pose. Hug your inner thighs together. Exhale, forward fold. Ride the breath smoothly down. Nice, Susan. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Breathe. Drive your heels back. Hug your inner thighs together. That's it. And then lower through whatever variation you're taking. Feel free to hold your high plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, lift your knees and up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's move on. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step or walk. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees, reach tall. Commit to your breath. Stay present in this moment. Although you might be warm, it might be a little uncomfortable, that's you growing. That's you getting used to the challenge, embracing the challenge, becoming comfortable in the uncomfortable, right? All right, we did this, I think, last week. We're going to do it again because it was super fun. All right, inhale, chair pose, sit lower, and on your exhale, standing crow. So flatten your palms in front of you, bend lower into your knees, touch your triceps to your knees. Yes, nice job. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, standing crow. Get lower. Hug your inner thighs together. Back line of your legs are working. Inhale, chair pose. One more time. Exhale, standing crow. Hold for 4. For 3. Nice, Ryan and Sarah. 2. And 1. Inhale, chair pose. Stick with me. Yes, you can. Stay present in this moment with your breath. Exhale, forward fold. Hinge it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high to low plank, chaturanga. If you want it, feel free to hold that high plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, cobra, or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Inhale, 3-leg dog, right leg lifts. Pause. Internally rotate your right leg so that the inner knee spirals to the sky and then we level out through the hips. Flare through the toes to activate all the leg muscles. Inhale again from the inner thigh, lift. Exhale, knee to nose, hold. Shoulders over wrist or pass. You're on your left tippy toe. Option to drop your right toe to the earth, but if you can, keep it hugged and lifted into your torso for 4. Low lunge in 3, 2, 1. You can drag it, you can step it. Bend and straighten, nice and lightly into your right leg. Just surfing it out a little bit. And then come back to your low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon, left knee down, arms tall, breathe. Maybe you take your hands to your right knee and kind of surf it out a little bit more. Do make sure your hips are level. So take your hands to your hips and notice if they're pointing the same direction or maybe they're a little bit askew. Maybe you need to lift the left hip higher, okay? Hug your inner thighs together, reach tall, breathe in. Good. Exhale, reverse prayer. Touch your palms together, thumbs to the back of your neck. We've been here just in a different leg position, okay? If you want to add a gentle heart lift, you're welcome to. Just roll your shoulders together and under your heart. It's a kind of a big transition. Maybe you can watch up here if you'd like first. Inhale, crescent lunge. Left toes are tucked under. Squeeze your left outer hip, rise, arms extend tall. And breathe. You might need to surf it out after that one. It was kind of intense. Just bend and straighten into your left leg, into your right leg. Hips are level. And then your hands, your shoulders, and your hips all are in one line. So if you notice yourself hinging forward, drag it back. If you're leaning back, take it forward. Wrap your core around itself so we have more stability to the torso. Breathe in. Exhale, warrior 2, open to the left, and bend and straighten through. So the first time we're in these poses, we like to take time and get warm and check out our alignment before we start flowing breath to movement. So take as much time as you need. And then once you find your right heel bisecting your left foot parallel to the back of your mat, your right toes pointing forward, extend your arms long and breathe. Good. Squeeze your fingers together. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right hand goes up, left hand connects to your left leg. You can take the back of your left hand to your low back, or maybe you'd like to opt for a bind today. Don't worry too much about this bind. Just make sure this left hand's nice and light. Think about lifting up out of the right hip to reach tall. Roll your right shoulder down your back. Inhale, maybe look to your right hand. Exhale, extended side angle, reach, 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 reach. And then without crunching on this right side, arms go north and south. Continue with your breath. Press your right forearm into your right inner thigh and hug your inner thigh back in so the entire leg just ignited. Do make sure your right knee is right over your ankle or behind rather than forward. Inhale, reverse triangle. Right arm lifts, right leg straightens, and breathe. I know sometimes my knee doesn't love this posture, and if you're feeling that today, go ahead and place another bend into your knee for another reverse warrior. Totally fine. If you're in reverse triangle, use your right inner thigh to lift your right rib cage up, and make sure your hips are nice and level. Squeeze your inner thighs together, inhale. Exhale, high to low plank. Bend your right knee, frame your right foot. Step back without a noise if you can. Move through your vinyasa. Inhale wherever you are. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, down dog, kick left leg high, pause. If you're ever in doubt if your hips are level, you can take a peek, draw your chin to your chest, and notice if your toes are pointing the same direction or down towards the earth. So that's an internal rotation of the leg bone. Breathe in. Exhale, knee to nose, hold. Press away from the ground. Pop the back of your heart to sky. Hollow out through the armpits, and toe can come down if you'd like for 4. Low lunge in 3, 2, and 1. Woo, land light. Bend and straighten for a moment. Check out what's going on in your hamstrings. Check out what's going on in your hips. And then settle into your low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon. Low Anjaneyasana, right knee down, arms high. You can surf it out again. I'll try to stop saying surf it out. Bend and straighten. Squeeze your left foot into the ground and drag it back behind you. Press your right quad tendon, the top of the knee, not the knee bone, forward. And your hips might have just gotten nice and square by doing that alone. Inhale, reach tall. Press your hands together. Exhale, reverse prayer. Thumb to the back of your neck. And maybe look high. Maybe you feel this in your right quad. Maybe you feel it in your left hamstring. Maybe it's the shoulders. Wherever you're feeling it, take a breath into this moment. Be present with it. Exhale, let it go. Ready for the big move. Inhale, tall crescent. Hug your inner thighs together. Squeeze your outer hips towards one another and reach to the sky. Take a moment. We want that nice neutral spine. So notice if your low back went overarched. Bend your right knee and tether your tailbone to the earth. Breathe in. Exhale, warrior 2, open. So you might need to adjust your feet just a little bit. You can take a wide stance. If you have any knee pain or it doesn't feel wonderful, walk your feet closer together, totally fine. Press your right inner thigh into the earth. Press your left inner thigh, wrap it up towards the sky, and then settle a little deeper into your warrior stance. Nice work. Inhale, reverse warrior. Left arm high, right hand down. Pardon me. Find your gaze with what works with your neck. Words are hard. You can gaze at your right foot, you can gaze forward, you can gaze high. Just roll your left shoulder down your back and feel the side body engage. Breathe in. Exhale, extended side angle, forward, 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 north and south with the arms. Gentle rotation of your right shoulder blade behind you. Maybe you gaze to the sky. Squeeze into your glutes. Press down through the right inner thigh. Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten the left leg, left arm lift, and breathe. Option, remember to take the reverse warrior. Totally fine, okay? It depends on what's going on in your knee, yeah? If you want a little more quad activation, maybe you lift your left toes off the mat, and maybe you decide, I don't like that, you can put them back down. Level through the hips. Inhale from left big toe to left middle finger. Exhale, bend your knee, high to low plank, windmill down. Step back. Your vinyasa or not, hold high plank. Breathe in. Exhale, downward facing dog. We slow. Breath to movement one time through, and then we'll add on with some fun stuff. Inhale, 3-leg dog, right heel up. Flex your toes. Exhale, knee to nose, low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon, knee lightly down, arms tall. Exhale, reverse prayer, shoulders under heart. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift. Exhale, warrior 2, open. Try to stabilize to the right foot, left foot does the adjusting. Inhale, reverse warrior, right hip lift. Exhale, extended side angle, long side body. Inhale, reverse triangle, hug your heels together. Exhale, high to low plank. Windmill, plant, step back. Hinge forward, bend your elbows into your rib cage. Inhale, up dog, high plank, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-leg dog, left heel up. Exhale, knee to nose, low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon, reach tall. Exhale, reverse prayer, lift your heart. Inhale, tall crescent. Use your hands for balance, 2. Exhale, warrior 2, open. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Wrap your left rib cage towards the sky. Inhale, reverse triangle, inner thigh lift. Exhale, bend your left knee, high to low plank. Remember, your choices, your practice. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, top of your mat for fold, however you'd like to get there. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees a lot. Reach tall and breathe. Here's a little bit of a recovery, right? We were moving a little bit fast. We might have lost the breath, and that's totally fine. Just be present with what happened. I know I lost a little bit of the breath, so I'm going to take a second. Inhale. Exhale, standing crow pose. Tap your triceps to your knees. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, standing crow pose. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, crow prep. Hands under your shoulders, fingers spread wide. Walk your feet back a step. Spiral your elbow ditches forward, so externally rotate the arm bone. Bend your elbows like chaturanga. Knees to the backs of your triceps, and this is your prep. You can hang out right here, totally great. Or you begin to rock forward and back. Or if you know crow pose, feel free to go there, right? If you have a pillow you can put in front of you in case you're afraid of falling, that works too. Think about squeezing the elbows towards one another, looking down and out rather than straight down for 4. We meet in downward facing dog in 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Step it back or float it back. If you float back, land with bent elbows. Downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-leg dog, right heel rises. Exhale, right knee, right shoulder, squeeze it in, hold. Shoulders over wrist, flex your right toes. Or your knee is moving towards the direction of your shoulder, does not have to connect. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Exhale, knee to nose, low lunge. Inhale, crescent moon, arm up. Exhale, reverse prayer. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, airplane, launch forward and breathe. There it is. Your left toes can stay on the ground. Just lift your heart so there's a diagonal line from your heel through the crown of your head. If you are hinging forward for a horizontal body, bend into your right knee to engage the leg muscles and lift your left hip up and away from the ground, but draw the inner part forward for square hips. Squeeze your pinkies together behind you. Look forward. Big exhale. Inhale, standing split. Left leg high, fingers to the earth, and breathe. So standing L, don't worry too much about the split part, okay? Flare your left toes, left hip comes down. Instead of pinching into your right internal hip socket, engage your right inner thigh, lift up and out of that area. That's it. Begin to pulse your left heel to the sky. So we want the hamstring engaging when we do this. Nice, Michelle. That's it. Now, bend your left knee and pulse your heel to the sky. More hamstring. Think inner thigh 2 for 4, 3, 2, 1. Option to stay here pulsing, or swing your right arm around, bend your right knee, maybe you grab your left foot. We're coming into a variation of dancer pose, but it's like a half dancer. Option to keep your left leg extended behind you. Don't worry too much about it. You got it, Ryan. Nice work for 4. If you want to lift your left arm and press forward for 3, 2, 1. Back to your standing L. Nice, Jessica. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Coming back to our flow. Exhale, warrior 2, open. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse triangle. Full breath in. Listen here. Exhale, low lunge, low lunge. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, forearm plank. Left forearm down, right forearm down, and breathe. All right, option to come down to your knees. Think again about that breaststroke. So that hug in of the external arm bone, like you're going to rip the ground up towards your face. all right? Press down through your index knuckles. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Oblique hip dips, okay? So right hip down, come back to center. Left hip down, come back to center. Right, center, left, center. Navel to spine, low core is engaged, and your obliques are working as well. For 4, 3, open mouth exhales here might help. 2, and 1. Right hand down, coming into high plank. Left hand down. Inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, 3-leg dog, left heel rises. Exhale, left shoulder, left knee, left shoulder, or towards that direction, hold. Feel your left side body ignite. Press the back of your heart to the sky. Inhale, 3-leg dog. Exhale, knee to nose, low lunge, land lightly. Whew. Inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, reverse prayer, look up. Inhale, tall crescent, use your hands, press them together, they'll help you balance. Exhale, airplane, heart forward, right leg back and behind. Breathe. The upper body, lower body, they work together. So engage through the arms, press your heart forward, it'll help you balance. Slightly bend your left leg, hug muscle to bone, and then maybe kick your right heel towards the back wall so your outer glutes, both sides, fire up. Squeeze your pinkies together behind you. Roll your shoulders back. Good. Inhale, standing splits, nice and slow. Yeah. All right. Square through the hips, right hip down. And then we'll find our little leg pulses, right heel to the sky. Squeeze every lift. Up, up. Squeeze, squeeze. Feel the hamstring, yes, but feel the inner thigh. Bend your right knee, pulse up, up, up. That's it. Nice work. Just a couple more. If you went further on the other side, do so here. Bend your left knee, hug your right knee behind it. Receive your right foot. I love what you're doing, Sarah. Birthday girl. And then maybe you find your half dancer. Your right hand can stay down. Kick your shin behind you. Maybe you reach your right arm forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to standing split. No slingshot of the right leg. Inhale, halfway lift, spine. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lift. Exhale, open warrior 2. We're almost there. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, oblique work, yeah? Inhale, reverse triangle, straighten. Exhale, bend your left knee, low lunge. Inhale, high plank, forearm plank, right forearm down, left forearm down. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Wrap your low ribs down and in, squeeze your hip tips together. That's it, cement mixers. So just a counterclockwise circle with your hips. Do that 3 times, and then switch directions, opposite direction. 2 and 1. Inhale, high plank, left hand down, right hand down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Huge breath in. Open mouth exhale. 2 more, your breath. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. When you're done, meet me on your knees. How are we doing? Thumbs? You all right? Awesome. All right. Some of you might have some kind of clue of where we're going. And we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Okay, so core. Take a little sip of water if you'd like. And we'll be doing, our first core exercise will be a belly down forearm plank. We're just gonna have a little more fun with that forearm plank, okay? And then we'll come on down to our back and get some traditional core in, okay? But I want you to think, even in your belly down core, lift the pelvic floor. So think squeezing the sit bones together, navel to spine, and that'll take the low ribs down and in. So we're fully engaged through the midsection, okay? So come into your forearm plank. Yes, press down. Index finger all the way to the forearms. All right. From here, put your weight into your left foot. Lift your right knee, bend it. It's up, up. Exhale, squeeze. Option to come down to your left knee. Yeah? And if you're having an issue keeping your shoulder girdles engaged, maybe you take your hands to your fists. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Leave it lifted. Take it out to the side. It's out, out. Inner thigh work, hamstring work. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to forearm plank. Never thought forearm plank would be a recovery. Here we are. Press down through your index knuckles. Weight into your right foot or your right knee. Lift your left toes. Bend your left knee. Up, up, pulse, up. Squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, exhale. For 4. Taking that to the side. In 2 and 1. It's out. Out. Keep your left toes flared. Your left inner thigh is working, yes, but your outer hip is supporting. For 4, 3, pop the back of your heart to the sky. Last 1, come back to forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Send it back, you deserve it. If it feels good to find a reverse prayer here to open the shoulders, absolutely do that for yourself. Maybe even walk your elbows forward and melt your armpits down. Hands down, go ahead and rise on up. Come on down to your back and take your knees to reverse tabletop. Now before we move anywhere, low back to the ground, squeeze your hip tips towards your rib tips so that we close the low ribs down. So as if your dog, your child, your roommate, hopefully not, is about to jump on your tummy, right? You want to pull it in and get nice and active. You don't want them mushing you, and it really hurts when you're not prepared, right? So really pull everything in, low back to the ground, and then take your knees over your hips. And then if you notice if your low back popped up, lower it back down, and maybe your knees need to stay a little bit further from your, closer to your face, that is. Plant your hands next to your hips, flare your toes, reverse crunches. But first, squeeze your heels towards your glutes and notice the back line of the legs just fired up. Yep, keep that engagement. Slowly lower your heels towards the earth. Keep your low back on the ground. And then exhale, lift up. Inhale, slowly lower your heels towards the ground. They don't need to connect if your low back pops up. And then come back up. We're just trying to work this low, low core here, okay? Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Couple more. Keep your low back down. Push your hands into the earth. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Keep your head on the ground. Exhale up. You only have a couple more. You can do this. Hug your inner thighs towards one another. Squeeze your heels towards your glutes. All of the leg muscles are engaged. You've got this. Last 2. Last 1. Hover your heels off the earth. Hover your heels off the earth. For 4. You're shaking. That's good. I am too. For 3. Hug your inner thighs towards one another. 2. And 1. Full body stretch. Point your toes away from you. Reach your fingers overhead. Breathe deeply. Huge open mouth exhale. You did it. Look at that. Nothing makes you more present than doing crunches, right? Sometimes. Right. Hug your knee into your chest. Roll side to side. And then rock and roll the length of your spine 3 to 4 times, and knee in a seat. And let's go over our peak poses for today since we're just about there. So we already did our peak pose. You already did it, okay? We're just going to add on a couple other layers, all right? And peak pose is going to be forearm stand. So it's really forearm plank. We already just did it. And then we have a fun little variation to add a half forearm stand, half crow, because we did kind of warm up the body that way that we might be able to do it. So let's get into it, right? So our first layer was forearm plank. And this, with your knees down, is even working the pose, okay? Any variation of the pose, still the pose. Because guess what? You have to have strong shoulder girdles. You have to have really good alignment. So a number 11 with your hands, and then the shoulder stays over, right? That interlace of hands in front of you is fine as you build up the strength and stability. Some yoga teachers will tell you that you shouldn't learn it that way, but unfortunately that's how I learned it. Just don't tell anyone, I told you. So take your hands, for now, your hands out long in front of you, and unless you're collapsing, okay? Next option, forearm planks. Now we have a little drill to add on to should you feel like it. Remember, this can be taken down on the knees or lifted. So we're going to come forward, nose towards your thumbs, and then surf it back. Nose towards your thumbs, and surf it back. So we're just surfing forward and back, yeah? On your knees, it can be done too. So what that's going to help with is eventually when we move into our forearm stand, we need to have that strength to come forward and then recorrect. So we've got to have really strong triceps, okay? So that's your next layer. You can surf it out just like that. okay? It's a great place to be. Not easy, right? Your next option is to come into dolphin. So we walk our feet close to our face and we breathe, all right? Try not to collapse. If you start to collapse, maybe walk it back, okay? Navel to spine, lift the pelvic floor, and then you guessed it, from here you can take those nose taps. So it's forward, back, inhale, actually that's exhale, and back, yeah. So it's a little more difficult. Your triceps will start to burn a little bit more. That's okay. These are just the layers for your forearm stands. That's it. That's what we're doing. Okay. Now we did play around with chair to crow. So that's another great option if you want to work on it. Remember, it was standing crow with your triceps to your knees and a little ball. All right. The next option would be to work on crow pose. Okay. We played with that before we took our little break. Okay. If you wanted to move into forearm stands, my next drill for you is going to be lifting one leg at a time. And this is it. I spent forever doing this, getting kind of frustrated, I'll let you know, I'll be honest, because this is not as easy as it looks. I don't know if it looks easy, but it takes a lot to keep the breath smooth and even. And then from here, maybe nose taps. Forward, back. Maybe you add that leg pulse that we did, because eventually that's how we're going to float up into our forearm stands, okay? So maybe play around with a couple of those drills, and then we'll find that other funky variation, okay? So you have a couple breaths. I know some of you are like, what? No, that's okay. You can work your crow, you can hang out, pet your dog. I need to take a water break, so do you. Yes, Sarah, I see that foot, looks good. All right. Let's talk a little bit about our funky variation here. Nice, Michelle. All right, so this funky variation is going to be half crow, half forearm stand. Well, I'm going to show you a way to get into it that's going to be not floating up. It's going to be okay. You'll be all right. You'll get it. Go ahead and take my earpieces. You can't hear me if I do that. So if I breathe really heavy at you, please don't be offended. So how we're going to do this is we're going to take one hand into forearm and one hand into crow. I'll face this way for you. One hand down, one hand this way. So remember, our crow has to be behind us. The elbow bends down, like our chaturanga, right? If it comes out to the side, something completely different. You won't have the proper stability. So one forearm down, one hand down, elbow bends back. Your left knee, I'll move this way. And then your left knee, just like crow, is going to come to the back of the tricep, all right? Squeeze, muscle to bone, press your left knee into your left tricep. I'm nose tapping my right thumb, kind of like that drill we did, and then I'm extending my right leg back and up. Yeah, whoop, maybe. And then that's like that leg pulse drill we did where we were lifting. So it's that lift of the hamstring and the inner thigh that's going to help elevate through the leg. Okay, you have a couple more moments if you're like, yeah, I know, it's weird. It's a white Instagram girl yoga kind of weird thing that they did. But whatever you try on one side, go ahead and try on the other side for balance and equanimity, okay? And there's one more thing. You really want to interlace your hands for that forearm stand. Again, that's how I learned. I'm not saying it's the right way, but I'm always down for a good cheat, okay? So if you do want to give that a shot, interlace your hands. Your elbows are still going to be shoulder width distance apart. So if they're wider than this, we can impinge the shoulders. And eventually, if we do that over time, our shoulders will start to really not feel good, okay? So we'll find that here. And then this is gentle kicks up. All right, so shoulders away from ears, engage the toes, and eventually we move to the separate, right? It's kind of like a wall and handstand. It's kind of a crutch to keep your hands like that. We want to have those hands parallel, maybe, all right? When you're done, meet me in downward facing dog, downward facing dog. You did it. Look at that. Every pose you can break down to little bits. And forearm plank is a bugger, so that's hard work, so don't feel defeated about that. Present in this moment, your downward facing dog. Let go of anything that just came up. It does not matter anymore. Inhale, 3-leg dog, right leg high. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, rise, crescent moon. Exhale, full airplane. Yes, you can. Scoop, right? Come on forward, launch. Yes, you've got it. Nice work. Inhale, one leg mountain pose, and breathe. The trick here is to keep your shoulder, your hip, and your ankle in one line, so we're nice and lifted. Lifting through the crown of the head. Flare your left toes, kick them lightly forward, and pack your outer hips in. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart center, moving into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Option, you can take your foot to the ground and then drag it up. Know that you can have your toes on the ground, your heel on your ankle. This is a great variation of tree right here, more balanced, yeah? And then if you'd like to take your sole of your foot to your right calf, you can. Do make sure you avoid the knee. And if it's the inner thigh you're looking for, that's fine too. Press your foot into your leg back into your foot. Open your left knee using your outer back hip. So we're talking about flexibility through the left inner thigh and groin and strength through the left outer hip to find a nice level opening of the pelvis, okay? Hips level, arms can reach tall, you can look high. Breathe. And hands back to heart center. Come back to one leg mountain pose, left knee out in front, arms tall. Exhale, low lunge, bend your right knee, and we're gonna float it down, nice and slow. Low lunge, land, yeah. Coming into half pigeon. So I'll show you this way. You're gonna shimmy your right foot over to your left hand. If your knee is sensitive, your outer hip is sensitive, rather take a figure four. Your figure four can be seated, it can be reclined, your foot down, foot up, your choice. For my pigeons in the house, flex your right, all of you, flex your right toes to protect your knee. Lift your heart high and level through your hips. So we're not rolled onto one hip, we're up and we're lifted. If you'd like to sleep your pigeon now, you can. You hinge forward over your right shin, maybe forehead to the earth. Maybe you support yourself with your hands. I like it, yeah, breathe. Present in this moment is rather difficult when we're working through an outer hip opener. The hips tend to be the heart of the lower body. So a lot can come up when we're in these big hip opening poses. Super important that you stay with your smooth breath. Nice. Plant your hands under your shoulders. Curl your left toes under if they are not. We're moving back to downward facing dog for those of you in any figure four variation. Push into the ground, hug your knee into your chest. Inhale, three-leg dog. Roll your ankle out slowly, clockwise, counterclockwise. And then back to your downward facing dog. And breathe in and out. Inhale, three-leg dog, left heel rises. Exhale, low lunge, step through. Inhale, crescent moon. You know where we're going. Curl your right toes under and be brave. You've got this, okay? Exhale, launch forward. Use your right toes to send your heart forward. Yes, that's it. Breathe. We've been here before. Can you refine it? Level your hips. Right hip down. Left hip up and back. Inhale, one leg mountain, Ekapada Tadasana. Breathe. Make sure your hips are level. The right hip loves to jack up because we're lifting the knee and the hip thinks, I'll help. Tell it it's okay. We have all the help we need. Right knee comes up, right hip comes down. Squeeze your left inner thigh to find more activation and lift out of the left hip socket. Flare your right toes. Arms return to the sky. Breathe in. Exhale, tree pose. Whatever variation you took on the first side, find that here. So toes down, calf, or foot to inner thigh. Yeah? Level hips. Right hip might need to come down. Press your right knee open. So every single posture, strength and flexibility, okay? We want to find that effort and ease, present, right? And that's why we need to be present in these poses. We need to find everything it has to offer. It comes with the practice. And some days we just want to thrash about, and that's okay. You can do that too. Take your hands to the sky, maybe look up. It's okay to wobble. Trees blow, they move in the wind. I think every yoga teacher has ever said that. But it's true. Take your hands to heart center, big breath in. Big breath out. Inhale, one leg mountain. You got this. Exhale, low lunge. Squeeze your heel to your glute like a hamstring curl. And then extend the leg back behind you, kind of like a low airplane land lightly. Ooh. Pigeon or figure four, what you took on the first side. Find yourself there now. Left toes are flexed to protect the knee. All right. So try to find a similar sensation that you did to the first side, okay? Once you found that place, if you hinge forward for your sleeping pigeon, go for it. And if you feel more sensation, then don't hinge forward. That's okay. We want to find that balance and support it. Are you still breathing? Did you kind of bounce out of the room because you're like, ugh? No judgment. We all do it. It's okay. But can you gently pull yourself back? Nice work. Nice work. I mean, it feel nice and even. Go ahead and plant your hands under your shoulders. Curl your back toes under. Remember, we meet in downward facing dog. Find that brief moment of core work. Knee into chest. Left leg high. Roll the ankle out really gently and really slowly. Downward facing dog. Your last down dog of class. Close your eyes. Can you give me 5 Ujjayi breaths? Yes, 5. Yes, you can. Nice work. Look forward. Come to forward fold as you breathe out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, tuck and curl, little ball, little ball. Lift your heels, wrap your hands around your shins, draw your chin to your chest. Hands can be down to the ground. And then when you're ready, slowly lower yourself down to your seat. Seated forward fold. First layer, bend your knees a lot, and then walk yourself forward so your sit bones are connected to the earth. And then roll forward onto your sit bones. So when we roll onto the anterior part of the sit bones, our back comes forward, but it also flattens a little bit, yeah? Reach your arms high, release your peace fingers. Roll forward on your sit bones a little bit more, flat spine, and then reach forward. So that might mean you grab your big toes. All good if you don't. You can grab your shins, you can grab the backs of your knees. What I'm really, really interested in is this flat spine because it's what's going to help neutralize the pelvis. So on the inhale, roll your shoulders down your back, lengthen your heart up towards the sky. On the exhale, use your biceps. So pull your legs, whatever part, closer to you. On the inhale, lift up. On the exhale, pull, right? So you might be thinking, I don't feel anything in my hamstrings, but you might be feeling something in your side body. You're feeling neutralization of your low back. If you don't have low back stuff, then maybe you're not interested, but that's okay. Maybe one day you will, I hope not, but this will be a great way to help with pain, okay? If you want a little more from this forward fold and you want a hamstring stretch, feel free to walk your heels forward, keep your heels in line, and try your best to keep your back flat, okay? Inhale, lengthen, exhale, forward. Adjust yourself so your hamstrings feel a nice little opening, not at the sit bones of the attachments and not at the knee attachments, but in the belly of those muscles. One more breath in. Let it go. All right. Shoulders over hips, arms out, palms up. Tuck your tailbone nice and slow, as slow as you can. Come on down to your back. Pull your knees into your chest. And roll side to side. Find stillness. Your entire low back pressed into the ground. Hug your knees into your chest, helping press the head of the femur into the socket, flattening your low back to the ground, helping to further neutralize. Extend your left leg nice and long. Hug your right knee up and around the rib cage. Give it a little squeeze. Flex your toes. Exhale, supine twist. Left knee across the body, right shoulder sees down. Your right toes may or may not touch the earth. That's not the goal. The goal is to find a nice wringing out of the spine When we twist the mid-spine, it kind of gets it nice and neutral as well. So the forward fold was to neutralize the low back, and this twist is to neutralize the mid-spine. If you want a little more from the supine twist, maybe if your right outer hip is super tight, I can move away from the wall. You can grab the nice edge of your right foot and then extend the right foot out and down. You'll get out into the glute med, kind of a bugger on the outside of the hip. You might get a little bit to the inner hip socket too. Make sure it does not hurt. Gently rebend your right leg if you straightened it. Hug your right knee into your chest, right hip crest, the back of your hip comes to the earth. Left knee floats up to meet the right, roll side to side, low back to the ground. We'll take the supine twist on the opposite side. Right leg extends long, flare your right toes, flare your left. Left knee up and around to the rib cage, little pinch on the left side. Gently guide your right knee across your body. Right shoulder remains down. Each inhale, lengthen from heel through crown of head. Each exhale, your left rib cage opens to the left side of the room a little bit more. If you grab the opposite or the top foot on the other side, go ahead and do that now. Grab nice edge of foot, kick out. If your left leg's extended, gently rebend. Everyone roll back onto your back. Hug your right knee into your chest. Both knees are in, roll side to side. And then find a bridge pose to ground it all out. Feet plant into the ground. Walk your feet maybe a little bit further away. So they're not super far. They're just a step away from your knees. Press your hands into the earth. Dial your low back into the ground and your tailbone tilts up. From this space, then lift one vertebra at a time until you're on your shoulders. Please just look to the sky. Avoid moving the neck side to side like I just did so in your bridge poses or your plow poses or shoulder stand. We've got weight on the shoulders so the cervical spine is in a precarious situation. It's super important to stay stable. If you'd like to robot arm it, elbows into the earth, fingertips high, maybe chest expansion. Interlace your hands behind your back. Roll one shoulder under your heart at a time. Draw your heart to your chin to the sky. One more breath in, lift your hips a little higher. Exhale, release. One notch of the spine at a time. Your tailbone touches down last, so that ensures your low back touches the ground first. Yep, there it is. Happy baby. Bend your knees outside of your side bodies. Option to grab hold of your knees. Option to grab your shins behind your knees. Maybe it's your big toes. Wherever you are, on the inhale, kick up. On the exhale, pull down. Outer hip stretch. And inner hip, yeah? You feel the groin there, the inner thigh. Make sure your feet are nice and active. One more round of breath. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, pull down. Gently release, knees into your chest. One more hug of class. Squeeze everything in. Maybe forehead to your knees. Hug in for 4. Grab a little tighter. 3, 2, and 1. Release to your shavasana. Your peak pose every class. Not the handstands, not the arm balances, not the acrobatics, or the silly Instagram yoga. It's this pose right here. Close your eyes softly. Allow your lips to stay together, but your teeth come apart and your tongue relaxes away from the roof of your mouth. Try to soften the muscle around the eyes, rather than clenching them tight. Allow a little light in. If you have a place that's fidgety, you just can't seem to hold still, that's okay. Maybe it's at your fist. Squeeze your fist, shake it out, and then let it come back down. Watch the breath come in and out. I'll watch the time and let you know when it's time to go. Just take these next couple breaths to be present and still. All right. If you want to stay in your Shavasana, you are more than welcome to. If your day pulls you forward, slowly find yourself in a good morning stretch. Toes pointed away from you, fingers reach to the back wall. Full body breath in. Then an open mouth exhale. Slowly roll over to your left side for supported fetal position with your eyes closed. Taking all the time you need to come back to the rest of your day. When ready, push yourself up to seated. Your easy seat with hands at heart center or hands palms down to your knees. We'll take one final breath together to remind us we are in this together. We are a community together, even though we're apart. Huge breath in through your nose, my friend. Big open mouth exhale. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being my support in this time. And I look forward to chatting with each and every one of you. Namaste. Thanks, friends. I'm going to unmute you and stop recording. Oop. Oop.